So this is an Am I the A-hole post from a man, and I'm not even sure that this is posted in the right subreddit. But as I'm reading through this, what I am liking, and not even just about this post, but young ladies in particular seem to really know what they want, whether they want to be married or don't want to be married, whether they want to have kids or don't want to have kids. They communicate what they want. They have these expectations and they're standing on business. And I like that about the younger ladies these days. Now, let's get into this post. Y'all tell me, do you think this is even an Am I the A-hole post? Because he says, Am I the A-hole? My girlfriend told me I can't be on the new lease and put a question mark. That's not a question, that's a statement. All right, so he's 27, she's 23. He says, my girlfriend and I have been together for a little over 2.5 years. I love her so much in every way. We've been living together for a year and a half now. I moved into her apartment. So he moved into her apartment. Okay. And he waited a few months so his name could be on the lease. He says, then I officially moved in. It's been going wonderful. I love our routines, adventures, and she has made the place feel so warm. Just like mama would do it, right? Right? Okay, cool. For the past year or so, we've discussed more and more about our wedding and future. A few months ago, I asked her what ring shape she likes, just to get an idea for when I decide to start looking into rings. I already know which gemstone she wants and everything. We talked about how our wedding will be planned, our children's names, everything. I'm excited for that. I guess in her mind, she took that as I'll propose very soon, when in reality, it's something I want to do, but it takes planning and thought. I don't have a specific timeline, but I've kind of been going along with whatever she wants because I love her and I've always wanted to be married. For our second anniversary, we had a cute picnic and romantic dinner. I guess she was expecting I'd be proposing then, but I didn't. I've explained months ago how I've been saving and it has to be special for her. She said, I don't care if the ring costs $50. It's just the commitment when I thought you wanted that. Well, last week rolls around and it's time to renew the lease. She tells me, I love you, but I think it's time to live apart because it's been over 2.5 years and you should know by then. Then she accused me of stringing her along, basically. I think it's crazy how all this came out of nowhere. It's not fair that now I have to move back into my parents' house now. 2.5 years is not that long. Am I the a-hole? So for a year, they've been talking about wedding related stuff, future related stuff. And then he has the temerity to say, I guess in her mind, she took that as I'll propose very soon. Of course, it's in her mind. You're helping to put it into her mind by asking what ring shape she wants and talking about kids and names and stuff. Of course, it's in her mind. You guys are talking about it. She's expressed that this is what she wants. She moved you in. She moved you in. She allowed you to come into her space that she has shown you that she would make it comfy and you could just burrow your little parasitic self in. She showed you that. And now she is extracting you from her space because she has shown you that, she's not playing with you. You were sitting up there playing with her. You're sitting up there playing with her, and now you're back at your mama's house. You can be comfortable at your mama's house. I do not believe that this is a-hole. Well, yeah, it probably is a-hole behavior. But the thing is, what I'm seeing, like I said early on, women are communicating their expectations and then they're standing on it. She's like, I gave you some time. I gave you enough time. You either know what you want or don't. You're going to execute what we're going to talk about or you're not. But you're not going to stay here with me, bud. Now, this girl is 23 years old. I say that, that is a little young to be getting married. However, this woman knows her own mind. She said, we gonna go through these processes. You gonna at least pop this question. We are about to go. We are about to go. This is what you acted like you wanted. And so, that is her right. These younger women know what they want, and I love that for them. So, I really don't care about this dude. I'm excited that young women know and understand themselves. So let's get into some of these comments. Girl on a Ride says, so she can afford to stay in her apartment with no financial help from you, yet you have to move back in with your parents. Interesting. Well, see it as a way to save money quicker by living with your folks. If it's meant to be, you will say what you need and propose, and she will accept, and then y'all can live together again. There's no a-hole in this scenario. You aren't ready to propose, albeit saving or whatnot, and she is not comfortable committing to a lease with you with the possibility you aren't going to propose. You may say and you may say and feel you will, but she won't feel that until the ring is on her finger. She has the right to make her choices too. And then the OP was like, what you mean no financial help? We split the rent. WTF. Okay, but what Girl on the Ride is saying, obviously, if she doesn't put your name on the lease, she can afford this by herself, and she's not worried about your half of the rent, buddy. Gordo Fatso says, no wonder you're failing to grasp what's happening right now. You can't even grasp what's being said in a thoughtful comment. Once you move out, she can presumably afford the apartment without you. Dense, dense, dense. This person, Ari is my queen, says she had that apartment before the OP moved in with her. I would say after 2 years and a half, she has stayed at the same job and hopefully got some yearly raises or moved to a higher paying job. It's given that she can afford it by herself again. I agree with her. If he wanted to propose, he would, even with the $50 ring after so much talk about marriage. Top Bit says, if you aren't ready, that's understandable. But why are you always talking about rings, gyms, weddings, kids, etc.? It's like you're teasing her along, and I can see why she feels you're wasting her time. And Wasted Space says, right, you are all about what she wants. Talk about how you've been saving and you haven't even started looking at rings. It's for when you decide to start looking. Why not just ask her then? Awkward Anxiety says, because it takes thought and planning. I thought I could keep a straight face when I read that. With that, I'm gonna end it. I do want to know what you guys think about this. The whole scenario, young ladies knowing what they want and willing to like literally be single. Whereas I think that these dudes are a little confused, thinking that women are perfectly like they're going to be able to dangle marriage for these women that much longer. Y'all let me know what you think about this new class of young ladies. Jump in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. This post was cross-posted on my BurbNBougie subreddit, but it was originally posted on the True Off My Chest subreddit. She says, my husband is actively cheating on me because I couldn't lose the baby weight. I was hysterical, but now I'm pissed. I've been married to my husband for 4 years and we've been together for 9. I had a baby last year and let myself go, according to him, because I couldn't lose the baby weight. I couldn't find time for myself between caring for our baby, caring for him, cooking, cleaning, and going back to work after maternity leave. He hasn't been attracted to me since and refuses to even touch me most days. I know his type is fit blondes, and I was that until, well, our son. He was perfect until I got fat. My husband is out cheating on me as I'm writing this. He's out with his work wife. He asked me if I would be angry if he cheated on me out of nowhere months ago before bed, and when I obviously said yes, he got an attitude and was angry with me. I was suspicious ever since he asked me that stupid question, and today I finally got my answer. He's cheating, and who knows for how long. I saw him get into his coworker's car and kiss her right in our driveway before they left. I let him call me crazy for months and drove myself insane trying to figure out if he was cheating on me or not. It was just a stupid question. You're being dramatic, was his favorite thing to say to me. I stupidly let it go every single time because postpartum is hard and I just wanted to be a good wife and mother for our baby. Congratulations to me for being the world's biggest idiot, dating the world's biggest catch. I can't wait for him to come home and lie to my face. I'm happy to know that I'm married to a man who lied to me daily about loving me no matter what. Clearly, I'm unlovable if I'm fat, even if it was from giving birth to his child and picking up after him. I hope his work wife is worth the divorce costs. She says right here, I couldn't find the time for myself between caring for our baby, caring for him, cleaning, cooking, and going back to work after maternity leave. If people think that women can just get back in shape just like that, forget the fact that your body is still healing, your hormones have to get back in line, that you need sleep, all of that. It's so wild, the expectations that people put on women. Now, I know and recognize that snapback culture, especially among highly visible celebrity types or the people that have a big influencer following, I know that they make it look very easy or glitzy, and they make it look like, yes, you can do it. You have the same amount of hours in a day like Beyonce has. You should be able to get back in shape. But reality is, you are sleep deprived. If you do not have someone that is helping to care for your children, like support staff or even a husband participating in taking care of the baby, where you can actually cook a decent meal, have a shower, work out, rest, then how are you supposed to get back in shape? And then the fact that so many people get so pressed about child-free women choosing themselves, when women who do choose to do this are still disrespected, even as they are doing their duty or sacrificing for the blah blah blah, whatever they expect women to sacrifice themselves for. But a man like this can't even sacrifice his own time and to whatever, to help participate or to participate in the household, so this woman can heal, get back to herself, or whatever. And one thing that I do talk about is that these MFers have too much energy, and that's the reason why they are able to cheat. She doesn't even have energy to work out, but he has energy to cheat because he's not doing his part in the household. Turbulent Oven says, so in this divorce, you will actually lose quite a bit of dead weight. Depending on the man, 180 to 250 pounds. Take him to the cleaners, as another commenter said. But the thing is, even if she's working, so maybe she doesn't need the money. But when she does go to the divorce proceedings, she needs to ask for split custody. He needs to do his time. He needs to participate. And sometimes within the divorce proceedings, that's the only way to make these MFers actually participate in parenthood, is to make sure they get joint custody. He has too much time to cheat because he's not actually caring for his own child. I am the Lizard Queen says, after 35 years, I left my now ex-husband. I immediately lost 350 pounds of ugly fat. Additionally, I had no need of a second a-hole. Within the first week in my rental house, I stopped having diarrhea all the time. I credit that partially to less stress and partially to no longer being intentionally poisoned with gluten. Yes, he did that. One example, about 2 months before I left, he suddenly found a gluten free meatball recipe and started using it. So the prior 12 years, the meatballs were intentionally not gluten free, and lied about it. Hyrule says, I have celiac disease and can I say I hate him? I am the Lizard Queen says, join the club. You're preaching to the choir. Polar Bear says, what an evil fat ass. Good for you, girl. Joe Nix says, I'm also pretty sure she'll have a much easier time getting back to her weight before pregnancy if she wants that for herself. Absolutely not necessary. When she doesn't have to clean up after this ass and is rid of the stress he adds to her life. Paddle Girl says, or be the only parent. She'll have time to exercise as he will actually have to parent his child. Wonder how work wife is going to like the new him. Disastrous Panda says, especially after he loses half of his assets. I don't like when people say lose half of his assets. When you are married, these are your marital assets. He's not losing half of his. They are going to split these assets that they have accrued over the life of the marriage. Okay, so this is a good part for me to talk about my book. I wrote a book last year and put it out. It's called Ashy Men Will Make You Fat. And just like what this woman is talking about as far as her relationship, her stress, she's doing all of this and she has absolutely no time for herself. She would like to work out and de stress and all that, but all of the things that go along with running a household Plus, she works outside of the home. She doesn't have time to herself. And the fact that he's not participating in the home life or with his child means that it's just an additional burden. So this stress increases your waistline because it increases the cortisol. Your hormones are jacked up. This is the reason why I wrote this book, because health and wellness all works together. Your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, and your financial health all work together. I have this book available. It is a short and quick read. The women folk that buy it, like it, is at BurbNBougieShop.com. That's BurbNBougieShop.com. I'm about to move. I am trying to sell the rest of these books so I don't have to move them with me. Jump in the comments. Let me know, have you read my book? Or, just go ahead and go to the website, BurbNBougieShop.com, and grab a copy. All right, join the conversation. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Okay, so now we have an Am I the A-hole thread from a woman. And y'all know what I say about Am I the A-hole threads from women? They're simply looking for validation for feeling normal human emotions. All right, so she says, I screamed at my husband over food. Now, I'm not sure what it is about these MFers that make them lack empathy for their wives, but let's get into this. All right, she screamed at her husband over food. She says, Am I the a-hole? My nephew, who's 16, has been sleeping at my house for a few days. Today, I was deep cleaning the house all day while taking care of my 1-year-old. My husband messaged me saying, Please make tacos and a large bowl of tabbouleh. I cleaned from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and started prepping and cooking the food. Tabbouleh takes a long time. I washed the parsley one by one, which takes a good 15 minutes. It took me about an hour and a half to do all of it. The baby interrupts me. Then hubby came home and he put the tacos in the oven and burnt them, 12 of them. Luckily, we had another box of 12, and I made a huge bowl of tabbouleh and a side of prawns. When the food was ready, I went to the bathroom and was constipated. I was in there for about 10 minutes. When I came out, the food was completely finished, except for a little bit of tabbouleh. I was so shocked. It genuinely upset me so much. And my husband said, I kept two aside for you, but Haley, our daughter, who's 4, wanted some, so I gave them to her. I was still shocked that they ate all the food and was saying, Are you guys serious? You didn't think to leave me any food? You couldn't leave me half a prawn? My husband kept being defensive and excusing why I didn't get any food and kept saying he did put two aside and couldn't say no to our daughter. He showed no empathy. And as I was ranting, he started getting annoyed and raised his voice. My voice was probably loud too, but I don't think I realized, maybe, I was really shocked. My sister was understanding of my anger and said, I ate too, and I sat down on the couch. I had no idea they finished it and grabbed her keys and said she's going to go buy some tacos and make them for me, and she left. I ended up screaming at my husband that he is selfish and that I would have never done that to him and cried my eyes out while yelling. He started yelling back, and we had an explosive fight. Am I the a hole? And the thing is, men are labeled the leaders and women are just supposed to be submissive and all this kind of stuff. But a leader of a household would know and understand that the wife who has been there cooking and cleaning, making the home presentable, should have some food set aside for her. What would make these people so inconsiderate? This hurt. Some of the things that women talk about really like enrages me. Like, why wouldn't you, like, women wouldn't do this to another woman. Having living with other women in a commune would be so much different because we would set food aside. We would actually be considerate of the mom, of the woman, or the person that is putting through so much energy, especially if all they had to do was come in from work. Like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for putting in that time and energy. You go sit down. Please go rest. Another woman would do. Okay, let's get into these edits. She said she asked for a taco after he already ate his. Mine were the last two left, so he gave her mine. She didn't want tacos before, but changed her mind after not liking the rice. The second edit, just to clear things up. My 4-year-old told me herself she ate 2 tacos. She's brutally honest, and If she had been blamed, she would have said, "No, I didn't." She saw the taco shells all broken on her plate. I'm sorry, I saw the taco shells all broken on her plate. She probably ate one and a half. She barely had filling. Next edit. I also might have been gone longer. I'm ADHD and lose track of time. It could have been 15 to 20 minutes, possibly. Truly, I don't know exactly. I didn't time myself, but it wasn't too long, but long enough to believe they ate all the food. He offered to make me something to eat or buy me food while I was ranting. He only put two aside because I don't eat much at all. I'm on stimulant meds and do not have an appetite. And I told him I only want one taco. He left two just in case, but gave both to our daughter. I personally would have given her my taco. My issue is the lack of consideration of me. No one asked me if they should or shouldn't give my tacos away. That's what pissed me off. The fact that my nephew and my husband both ate four each, and hubby didn't slow down just in case my daughter changed her mind. Not the a hole, obviously. Not the a hole. These people that simply can't even think outside of themselves just a little bit. And folks seem to be confused why, like, she has one child. What are the odds that this woman has another child? What are the odds? If she divorces this man, what are the odds she chooses to remarry? Because when you have your own home, you cook and you already know that there's leftovers. You already know that you don't have to worry about some lack of consideration from somebody that is supposed to be your spouse and supposed to be supportive and loving of you. This makes no sense to me. Why be with somebody like this? Think about going into your retirement years with someone who doesn't even think about you and you eating, who doesn't care that you cleaned all day and prepped this food and then you don't get any. I am disgusted. Not the a hole. Screaming is never ideal, but is very understandable. Your husband is an adult. It is a reasonable expectation that everybody grab one or two tacos and then wait for you to get yours before finishing them. He should have factored your daughter in from the beginning. And then the OP says, "Thank you." She said she didn't want any. She had rice and something else beforehand, but she changed her mind. That means him and my nephew had four tacos each and all the prawns. Sufficient skill says totally understandable that you'd be upset. He burnt half of the tacos, and 12 doesn't sound like enough for three adults and two children, depending on the size. I'm also confused about the tacos. What are these tacos that you'd eat with tabbouleh, and what kind of tacos would your sister go buy that she'd still have to make? I've never heard of making tacos in the oven. Is this crunchy taco shells or that you toast before filling the ingredients with some kind of frozen prepared food? And she said, "So the tacos are just regular tacos filled with mincemeat, lettuce, tomato, and salsa. We put it in the oven to toast them. Tabbouleh and prawns were just on the side, not in the tacos." All right, so that's that. I'm going to end it right there, but this is where you guys go ahead, jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. I have a bit of a palate cleanser. Now, it does have some hills and valleys, so bear with me. It's not that big of a post or a comment. He said, "When I was a little boy, I used to love to pick flowers. I would give them to my classmates, both genders, and keep some for myself. My older cousins literally beat that softness out of me and made me run the streets with them. I became the stereotypical hood ninja, did things against my nature because I wanted to fit in and didn't want to get hurt by them. I learned a lot out there, but it damaged me so bad until I thought about taking myself out. Thankfully, I'm not in that place anymore, but I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I don't blame my cousins because they were just a part of the patriarchy too. But I'm saying that to say the system needs to go. We men need to destroy this ideology so that we can be actual human beings and not just worker drone cavemen. I wanted to share this because some men do know and understand how damaging the patriarchy is, and it will take some work to undo it. Sometimes when men come onto our pages, they say stuff like society doesn't let men have feelings, society doesn't let men do these things, society. but it really is other men policing the masculinity and the manliness, the seeming manliness of other people. When a man cries or has emotions and has the nerve to tell one of his supposed friends, it's other men that are laughing at them. So they need to check their brethren, and they have to be strong enough to stand up for the men who don't fit into these boxes of anger, violence, and that type of thing. So I really wanted to share this because he's unplugging. He has to deconstruct from the patriarchy, just like women have to deconstruct from the traditional boxes that we are painted into. But I think it might be harder for men to do it because they have to undo all of the harmful things and get rid of some of the privileges that come along with being a peen haver. So I just wanted to share that little bit with you because this is heartening to know and understand that some boy could have the softness beat out of him, but still try to bring it back once they deconstruct how harmful the patriarchy is. So jump in the comments. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.